first started. If many of you remember when I first started this portion of my YouTube channel, I said that I believe that there was science and I believe that there was pseudoscience. And one of the things that I believe wholeheartedly is pseudoscience is abiogenesis, this idea that life comes from non-life. And I'm going to do a bit of a science experiment. I've seen this on a different YouTube video, so I'm going to try it on my channel as well. And I'm only going to do this for about 2 days. I don't got time to wait for millions of years because, you know, the average man dies at the age of 70, between 70 and 72, I think. So what I'm going to do is, I have a glass here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take you guys over here. And I'm going to pour water in here. Basically what I'm doing is, I'm giving myself oxygen, hydrogen, and a whole bunch of other wonderful chemicals that are usually found in tap water. I'm going to show you guys this. I'm doing this here. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. Okay. So, if you know anything about abiogenesis, the people that believe that abiogenesis is real science believes that it rained on the earth for a very long period of time. And there was a lot of complex chemicals going on in the water. And then from that, we got the first living cell. So what I have here is my water right here. So you can see it. There's my water here. All right. I have here some rocks. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rocks in the water. I might get a little bit of dirt that might arise on the top of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to leave this in this exact spot until tomorrow. And I'm going to see whether or not a cell or anything living comes from this water and from these rocks. And I'm actually giving a huge advantage over to the science community, because I don't believe the things that are in this water was in the water at that particular time. Like, you know, like the minute amounts of gasoline, fecal matter, and all the other things that we find in our wonderful tap water. And I can assure you there's no filter on that. So, again, we're going to see what changes we see here by tomorrow. Now, I know you need billions and billions and billions of years for this to happen. But we're talking about water and rocks, and I'm not sure how you get life from that. So we'll check it out tomorrow and see what happens. And if I don't see anything, it'll just be a different video. Okay, so we're back with our project here. And today I'm going to reveal the real reason I did all of this. A lot of you believe that I was really trying to perform an experiment with life coming from non-life. Please understand that I read your comments, and I understand that there is bacteria in the air. And if there's bacteria in our air, there's probably going to be bacteria in the water. Also, please understand that I know that there are probably little microscopic bugs that are in the rocks that I put in there, and that there are probably several living cells in this cup even before the experiment even started, regarding what was in the rocks or the water. All right. The real reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to have an opportunity to talk about the Miller experiment again, which proves that abiogenesis is not possible. I know that the people in the Miller experiment believes that under certain conditions that it is possible to have life come from non-life, and that's simply not the case. With this little thing that I did here, I gave it oxygen, I gave it water, I gave it bacteria, I gave it rocks, I gave it everything. But you know what the funny thing is? Life already existed for these things to happen. The evolutionist, or the person who believes in abiogenesis, or the person who thinks that this is actually a science, what they don't understand and what they don't get is that in order for life to come from anything, that it must come from life. We don't have any evidence or any proof whatsoever that life comes from non-life. What we do have is the Miller experiment, which failed to show that life can come from non-life. Many people don't even believe that the conditions that was used under the Miller experiment actually was accurate and was exactly the way it was in the very beginning, when this life supposedly came from non-life. I found something out really interesting about abiogenesis. That abiogenesis is actually chemical evolution, and that chemicals over time will evolve into more complex chemicals, or eventually have life come from chemicals. So I don't believe that's true, obviously, for statements that I've mentioned on other channels and other, uh, you know, on other formats. But I do want to say this, though. While this was funny to do this and to be able to play around with doing this, you need to understand something. It is impossible for life to come from non-life. There is no way for that to happen. And until science actually replicates a way to be able to show that to happen and have an experiment that is true, where we can actually consider abiogenesis an actual rational science, then there's no need to conclude that abiogenesis is a science, a respectable science that can be backed with the scientific method, which it cannot. So I hope everybody enjoyed this little thing I did here today and yesterday. And more is going to be coming. I'm going to be talking about evolution, and after that, I do want to get into some of the other things that I talked about doing later.
Oh man. So look at this. Okay. Pew hilariously bad doesn't even begin to describe this. That's an understatement, sir. Oh, what is look, Lionheart, it's Sean, the guy who supposedly taught water chemistry and complains about people not adding things to conversations. Let's see what he has to offer. Thanks, random dude who has no significant background in science. Whoa, the irony there. Oh, fuck me. Man, he's been hanging around to empiricism too long. Oh, okay. You have no understanding of abiogenesis. Well, I think that about sums it up. I can't agree more. That's really it. Like there's a he understands the gist. Like it's there, right? He has somewhat of an idea, but you know the experiment